friends, it's Mrs. Kearney again. I hope you liked the story on the video or the first time we read our story, and I hope you did some of the activities I sent home for you to do to keep practicing our speech things even though we're not together at school. The title of our story is Mummy, Is That You? And question for you. Well, that kind of gave the answer. With this, Mummy, Is That You? It ends with this. That ends with a question. Our title is a question this time. And the author is Atsuko Morozumi. Mrs. Duck had 4 eggs in her little house under the willow tree. So here's the willow tree, and her cute little house was right under there. One spring day, a gust of wind picked up her house and threw it high into the air. Friends, why did her house fly away? Why did her house fly away? Tim? Yeah, big gusts of wind came. The nest flew in the wind until it landed on someone's back with a plonk. I have a where question for you, friends. Where, don't say it, where did the nest land? Maggie?
On turtle's back.
On the turtle's back, right? They said on the tortoise's back. Good job. And we can't see, remember we said last time, we can't really see the tortoise because he's hiding inside his shell. The eggs cracked open and 4 little ducklings were born. Hello, they said. Are you our mommy? Certainly not, said the tortoise. Friends, what did they ask that tortoise? Colleen? Are you our mommy? Good job. The tortoise said, certainly not. That means definitely not, no. So the ducklings set off to find their mommy. First, they met someone soft and fluffy. Are you our mommy, they asked? Friends, do you remember this time? Maggie, don't say it. Do you remember this time? What animal they saw next? First they saw the tortoise, then they saw the...
Dog.
Colleen, is it your turn? Or did you just answer? Timmy, what did they see next?
A dog.
The dog, good job. Dear me, no, growled the dog. The ducklings left in a hurry. Friends, do you remember... Maggie, don't say it. Friends, do you remember why we said those ducks left in a hurry? Maggie, why did those ducks leave? I stopped him in that.
They growled.
Oh, because he growled, you're right. And how did they feel? Scared. You did a scared face. They felt nervous and scared. Yeah, he did not sound friendly. And he's a lot bigger than them. So first they saw the tortoise, then they saw the dog. Let's see who they're going to see next. The 4 little ducklings were just taking a rest when somebody walked by with lots of little babies, just like them. She must be Mommy, they cried. Friends, who do they think they see? Don't say Maggie. Who do they think they see? Colleen? They think they see their mommy. You're right. Maggie, was it their mommy? No.
I was their mommy.
Friends, do you know? Don't say it, Maggie. Friends, do you remember who this was? First the tortoise, then the dog, then they saw... Colleen, do you remember? The hen, good, or the chicken, good job. We usually call them chickens. I'm sorry, said the hen, but I'm not your mommy. What did we say, friends? How do you think they feel? Maggie, how do you think they feel? Oh, yes, that is a very, what face you're making. Is it happy? No, it's what? You want to show my friends your sad face? No, show Molly on the camera so my friends can see. You were telling me a sad face, right? Yeah, they felt sad because they thought it was their mummy. I can see why they thought that was their mummy. There's a lot of things that are the same about the ducklings and the chicks, aren't there? Remember we said baby ducks are ducklings and baby chickens are chicks? What? Colleen, tell me something that's the same about ducklings and chicks.
They're all yellow.
They're both yellow. Good job, friends. They're both yellow. Good job. Colleen, can you think of something else? Let me ask my friends. Friends, can you think of something else that's the same about ducklings and chicks? Colleen, can you think of something?
They all have beaks.
Can you say it loud?
They all have beaks.
They kind of do all have beaks. That actually can be something, so they all kind of have something like this, right, that they eat with. That can also, you got a bug on you, Maggie? That can also be something that's a little bit different about them, because a duck's is called a bill, and it's rounded, because they don't dig on the ground to pick stuff up. A duckling has a bill. Maggie, you gotta sit down, babe. You gotta sit down or go on the swings. 3, 2. A duck has a bill, and a chick has a beak. So they both kind of open and close, but they do have different names. And something else that's different, friends. Ducks have webbed feet, which means there's a connection here, and chicks don't. And ducks have it so we've talked about this in a different book, so they can swim well. So there are a lot of things that are the same about ducklings and chicks, but there are some things that are different. Chicks don't swim, right? Because they don't have those webbed feet. Next, the ducklings came to a pond. Someone was splashing in the water. Are you our mommy? They called out. Certainly not, said the fish, as she swam away. Friends, was it their mommy? Nope.
Hey, what's that first one?
Yes. So let's see, let's go back here quickly. I want to see if you remember who they saw. So first they saw the tortoise. Then they saw the dog. Then they saw the chicken. Then they saw the fish. Yep, so first the tortoise, then the dog, then the chicken, and then the fish. The ducklings decided to go for a swim too. They were happily splashing about when one of them swam smack into a white, fluffy bag. Whackity quack, what's that? A voice said. A lovely duck turned around, looking at them all with a big smile. Sit down to me. Mommy! Friends, don't say Maggie. Who was it? Colleen. Their mommy, they finally found her. I have another question for you. How did they find their mummy? Tim?
They bumped into a bag.
Yeah, they went swimming and bumped into her back. Good job.
What's this?
Mrs. Duck took her ducklings home. Their house was back in its place underneath the willow tree, and the little ducks happily followed their mommy inside. The end. All right. Well, how far are we into that?
Like almost 10 minutes.
Okay, friends, so now we are going to talk about Maggie. I need your voice off. Maggie, 3. Maggie, 3. All right, friends. Now we're going to talk about, hey, babe, you got to turn your voice off or you're just going to go play on the swings, okay? So, friends, the next thing we're going to talk about are our different story elements. Remember from my story wall that we keep using? So the first thing we're going to talk about are the characters. And remember, we say the characters are the people and animals in a story. Okay? So let's see. Let me keep it there for a minute. Did our story have any people in it? Maggie, don't say it. Colleen, did our story have people? No people. And we say characters are the people and animals. Friends, did our story have animals in it? Tim?
Yes.
Yes, the characters were animals. So let's talk about who the characters were, okay? Who were the characters in the story? Friends, can you think? Maggie, can you think of one character from our story? Who was the tortoise? Yep, just say one. So the tortoise was a character in our story, wasn't it? Good job. No, freeze. No, turns. Okay, so they saw the tortoise. Timmy, I'm going to ask my friends again. Friends, the tortoise, who are other characters in the story? How about the main character? And we say the main character is the character the story is mostly about. Tim? The ducklings. The story was mostly about these cute, fuzzy little ducklings, these 4 little ducklings. So far we have the ducklings, the tortoise. Friends, what's another character from the story?
Yeah, Mama.
Colleen? Yep, the fish was another character in our story. Good job. So the ducklings, the tortoise, and the fish. Can you think of another one, friend? Timmy?
A dog.
A dog. There was a dog in our story also. You're right. So ducklings, tortoise, dog, fish. What was another one?
A big thing.
Can you think of one? Who was that?
Your Mama.
Their mommy was in it. Good job. So we have the ducklings. I feel like we're playing the game we play in the car when we're going on a picnic. So we had the ducklings, the tortoise, the dog, the fish, the mama, and I can think of a few more that they saw together. Can you guys think of?
A butterfly.
Nope. Come on, give me your answer. Colleen, can you think of it?
The hens and the chicks.
The hen and her chicks. Good job. Good job. And Maggie, you were trying to tell me this. You're right. So if we would, please don't do that, Maggie. So who did they see? First they saw the turtle. What's that sparkly story word? Then they saw the dog. What's the sparkly story word? Then they saw the chicken. Yep, they called it a hen in here. Oh, there was a butterfly, but we didn't talk about that. Then they saw the fish. And last, they saw
Mama.
their mommy. Good job, good job. We're not going to fight. We need to go over there. Then they found the mom. Good job. All right. Friends, what I want to talk to you about, that was a good job if you were following along at home of sequencing it and thinking of the characters. Before I do this, let's talk about the setting. So remember we say the setting is where the story takes place, where it happened. Where were our characters? More specific.
Outside.
They were outside, but
The wildness. The pond.
they were kind of around their pond, weren't they? I guess they were outside because it was the willow and it was the pond. They found the mom in the pond. Outside, yeah, we can go with that one. Could be outside, that you're right. If you said the pond, that's right, because they were in that a lot, but then they ended up at the willow tree. So outside, that's actually a good answer. And then we have problem. And the problem is what goes wrong in the story. So friends, what went wrong in the story? I'm gonna let Maggie. Maggie, what went wrong in the story? They were saying, "Are you my mommy?" Because what was the problem, Colleen?
They lost their mom.
Yes, they blew away and couldn't find their mom. They didn't know who their mom was and they couldn't find their mom. Very, very good. Well, let's do Maggie. We're not going to argue. Maggie. Okay, so now friends, we are going to talk about the story a little bit differently because in your kindergarten classes, your teachers talk about beginning, middle, and end, okay? So let's see if we can brainstorm. And remember, if we can't think of it, what's our strategy? We take a look in the book, okay? So what is something that happened at the beginning of our story, friends?
Their nest flew away.
All right, Tay, what did you think it was?
The nest flew away.
The nest flew away, friends. If you were thinking about something like that, you are right. I know it got cold outside. What happened?
Oh, we flew away.
So here we're going to do our motion pictures.
Mama.
The nest, remember Mrs. Kearney is not a very good artist. The nest flew away at the beginning of the story. What happened in the middle of the story?
Name it.
Friends, if you said they went looking for their mom, you are right. So here's I'll do one duckling on this. Oh, and I did want to say too, if you guys, I know some teachers have given some things to write on for whiteboards, but we can use anything while we're at home. This is actually just a binder. Can you take her away nicely for me? Then you need to sit nicely because you're not sitting like a great kindergartner right now. So the ducklings went looking for their mommy. That's when they saw all the different animals. Friends, what happened at the end of the story? If you said they found their mom, you are right. So here we go again.
Just draw a house. And then with their house in it.
And they ended up, I'll do the house back here. They ended up back at the house.
Animals are hard to draw.
They ended up back at their house with their mom. So in the beginning of the story, the nest blew away. In the middle of the story, they went looking for their mom. And at the end of the story, they found their mom and went back home. So if you had any of those answers, you were doing a great job thinking. And your teachers will be very proud of you. I know I am. All right, friends, I would love you to go on and do some of that work. Please tell your grown-up to help you take pictures and send them to me so I can know who's working on their speech stuff. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will be back next week with a new story. Bye, friends. Miss you.